Hello, my dear children. Namaste to all of you, and welcome back to yet another super amazing, super useful session of the much loved Sprint ICSE Class 10 Series 2021. And this is Ambika, your biology master teacher, right here on this super duper amazing platform of Vedantu, which is Vedantu in 9th and 10th English. Yes, children. So, as you know, we've been progressing very well with the Sprint Tech series, and today we are left with just one chapter of your ICSE biology syllabus. Can you imagine? Well, yes, you heard it right. And you perhaps already knew that. We will be discussing questions from the chapter, The Endocrine System, today. Okay, so before that, let me just give you a brief overview, as in what are the major topics coming under this. The endocrine system is comprised of these four major topics: the adrenal gland, the pancreas, the thyroid gland, and the pituitary gland. Okay, so these are the four glands that you have as part of your syllabus. Children, let me just remind you once again, Sprintex is only meant to be a sort of question based practice for you to help you practice yourself, or rather carry out your self study practice sessions a lot more effectively. All right, so we'll mainly be looking at past year's questions, or even some questions which are related to concepts which are frequently asked. Just in case you feel you are underprepared from any of these topics, no worries at all. Sprintex is not the place for you. If that's the case, you can go back to our Umang series playlist. You can also have a look at our Bio Bites in 15 minutes series, and you can also have a look at everything. I mean, VIP sessions and a lot more one shot sessions, chapters, and one shot. So many things that we've been doing, children, to help you do your best. And on top of these, a lot of motivational videos also that we've been putting up on a regular basis. Right, children? So let's move ahead without wasting any time. And let me remind you, by the way, that we will continue being with you till the very end. So the 50% off on the pro subscription courses are still going on. Make the best use of it before it gets late. All right, the link is given in the description box below. You just need to click on it and just go ahead and apply the coupon code and all of those. I'm sure most of you would know that by now. All right, now comes the homework question. What is ganglion? What exactly is ganglion? Well, ganglion is the group of nerve cell bodies located in the autonomic nervous system. That's what we call a ganglion. As simple as that. A group of nerve cell bodies. Cell bodies, what are they? Cytons, located in the autonomic nervous system, as part of the autonomic nervous system. All right, so that's about it. And now have a look at the schedule. Well, today is going to be a little different because, as you know, we are done with all of these. Whatever you see on this slide, everything is done. Whatever you see on this slide, four of them are done right now. We are on this. Isn't that amazing? Not just biology, for chemistry. Anubha ma'am's schedule is also here. Ma'am has also been doing all her sessions, and ma'am's last session is coming up right after this. So stay tuned for that, organic chemistry part 2. And then physics, Anup sir's schedule is done. I mean, yesterday sir is done with radioactivity. Hope you guys made the best use of those sessions. Gopal sir's math schedule also, if I remember right, yes, it's done as well yesterday with probability. So physics and maths done. And now English. Shweta ma'am has a session today. Yes, my greatest Olympic prize, which is going to be at 8 p.m. So do not miss it. And social studies. Ankana ma'am will be having two sessions today. Two sessions today. So these two. All right, Map of India and interpretation of topographical maps. So stay tuned. Do not miss any of these. Children, if you have actually noticed in the last several weeks on this channel, mainly the majority of the sessions have been focused on ICSE 10. CBSE children, not to worry at all. There's no sort of partiality at all that's intended. You guys have already had Sprintex on the main channel, which is the Hindi channel, Vedantu 9th and 10th. So in case you have missed any of those, please go ahead and feel free to watch the replay of them. All right. And of course, we've not stopped working for you as yet. So no worries at all. CBSE 9, CBSE 10, ICSE 10, we are still here with you. All right, so stay subscribed. Click on the subscribe button right now in case you haven't done it yet, because a lot more is in store for you. All right, guys, now look at the positive quote. Focus on the outcome and not on the obstacle. Right? Very, very important. Seems very, very easy as well, but this is like very important and very, very useful, as I would say. Something that's probably we must learn from very little babies or maybe animals around us. That reminds me of my pet dog in Bangalore. We had a pet dog. Her name is Donna. She's now with our uncle. So she used to be very, very focused on certain things, extremely focused. She's a Labrador retriever, and Labradors are generally known to be super intelligent. So they are very good sniffers and they are very focused and intelligent. So she was an expert at catching mice, as would have been the case with many other breeds, or probably many other dogs as well. If at all you've ever been a pet owner, pet parent, you would know what I'm talking about. Catching mice, you know what? She would be so focused on it, she wouldn't think of any obstacle that comes in her way. Probably like she would have to do a high jump around furniture, above the furniture, and go around a lot of these. Maybe like if at all she's walking around, things might fall on her head, on her back. Doesn't care. She would just be focused on her final goal, which was like to catch hold of that mouse which she's targeting. That's probably something that we all must learn from little babies and from animals. Makes a huge difference to our lives, guys. Okay, getting started. Question number one is here, children. Name the endocrine cells present in pancreas. Yes, 30 seconds. You're easily gonna score 1 mark. What is it? Present in pancreas, the endocrine cells. There is a name given to that particular group of cells, that particular tissue. Any idea? Okay, your time is up. It's islets of Langerhans, which is made up of alpha cells, beta cells, and delta cells, each of them secreting their respective endocrine hormones. All right, so islets of Langerhans is the term which you need to know here. I guess writing alpha, beta, delta wouldn't hurt. Just in case the examiner is looking for those terms as well, it's all right there, right? Okay, so that's about question one. Moving ahead to question two. What are hormones? Wow. In this chapter entirely, we've learnt about hormones, but what exactly are they? Now, if I come and ask you that question, would you be able to tell me a description or a definition? In case you cannot, probably you haven't done a good job of going through the chapter. What could it be? Well, it's very simple. Hormones are chemical messengers. They are secretions of endocrine glands which are directly poured into the bloodstream. We can use the word chemical messengers which are poured in by endocrine glands directly into the bloodstream to a target organ, to a target organ or a target site. All right. So this is about what hormones are. All right. So that's about it. Now comes the next one. Okay. Gigantism and acromegaly are due to dash hyposecretion of thyroxine, hyposecretion of growth hormone, hypersecretion of thyroxine, hypersecretion of growth hormone. What do you think? Gigantism and acromegaly. What is acromegaly? At least gigantism, all of you would know what it is. Yes. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1, go. The answer is hypersecretion, oversecretion of growth hormone. Hyper is too much, excessive secretion of the growth hormone. Now, let me tell you what acromegaly is. If you remember, we've discussed that excessive secretion of growth hormone during adulthood could lead to a condition called acromegaly, wherein certain parts of the body, like maybe the hands, feet, and the jaws, and all of these may grow excessively big. That's what we call acromegaly. All right. Moving on to question 4. Name a gland which is both endocrine and exocrine. Any idea? I'm sure most of you would have heard about this because I myself have said this like several times in my sessions. A gland which is both endocrine and exocrine. Not pituitary, not the hypothalamus. It's not the thyroid either. Your time is up. The answer is pancreas. Pancreas is both exocrine and endocrine. Basically, the exocrine part of the pancreas releases pancreatic juice. What does that do? You would have heard in your lower classes, you would have learnt in your lower classes that pancreatic juice is part of the digestive system, helps in digestion, basically contains lipase, some bit of pancreatic amylase, contains some bit of trypsin, and all of those helps in carbohydrate, protein, and fat digestion. That's the exocrine part of the pancreas. The endocrine part is what we've seen earlier. What is it? Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. What do they do? The alpha, beta, and delta cells, they secrete hormones like insulin, maybe glucagon, which are the two most popular ones. And there is also somatostatin secreted by the delta cells. All right. So a gland which is both exocrine and endocrine would be the pancreas beyond doubt. All right. So we are done with 4 questions, 4 out of 10 done. Now coming to 5 of 10. Differentiate between diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus based on reason or cause. Okay, super important. What is diabetes mellitus? What is diabetes insipidus? We've discussed this as well. I remember this very, very well. We've also discussed a bit of this in the chapter excretory system, if you remember. Yes, something related to the kidneys, the kidney tubules. What is it? Well, diabetes mellitus is a condition that occurs due to hyposecretion of insulin, low secretion of insulin, and that would lead to increased blood sugar levels. All right, increased blood sugar levels. Then diabetes insipidus has got nothing to do directly with blood sugar levels. It's more about a problem with water retention in the body. So when there is a hyposecretion, under secretion of ADH hormone, remember, released by the posterior pituitary, we also call it, yes, what do we also call it? ADH is also called vasopressin, plays a major role in water reabsorption. Yes, children, that's exactly why I told you we discussed this in excretory system as well. So differentiating between them based on cause. In diabetes mellitus, it's due to hyposecretion of insulin. In diabetes insipidus, it's due to hyposecretion or under secretion of ADH hormone. Now, children, one small tip I want to tell you here. Hypo is low or under. Hyper, a hyperactive child, a hyperactive dog, a hyperactive person. Well, what does it mean? Hyper is too much. Right? So hyper secretion is excessive secretion. Hypo would be the opposite. Okay? Right. Now question 6. What are antagonistic hormones? Okay. What are antagonistic hormones? In case you have a natural flair for English or you are very fond of English as a subject, you would have heard the terms synonyms and antonyms. Now, synonyms are those terms, those words which have exactly the same meaning as another one. And antonym would be something that's the opposite, like above, below, up, down, fast, slow, tall, short, and all of those antonyms. So, antagonistic hormones, what would they be? Yes, think about it. There are antagonistic hormones in our body, of course. And one very good example you can think about in this context is my favorite story. Yes, what is it? In this chapter? In the chapter nervous system, I've spoken about it enough. The snake. Yes, confronting a snake or confronting a tiger. Adrenaline, right? Adrenaline is fight or flight. And once you have overcome that situation, your body tries to help you rest and digest. So adrenaline and noradrenaline are examples of antagonistic hormones. Likewise, insulin and glucagon, what do? Basically, their action seems to be opposite to that of each other, but actually they are complementary to each other. Complementary to each other. All right? Yes. So that's exactly what they do. As in, what I mean is, one of these has to happen, and the other one has to be there to put a check on this. And then that would increase its activity, and then this comes up to put a check on this. So basically, they work hand in hand to bring about a balance, right? Insulin and glucagon, for example, help a great deal in controlling your blood sugar levels. Insulin reduces it, glucagon increases blood sugar levels. They try and maintain a balance. Likewise, adrenaline and noradrenaline as well. Without adrenaline, noradrenaline doesn't have to be produced, right? And the other way around, right? So that's about it. A couple of examples. Just remember, they are hormones. Antagonistic hormones are those which work with an opposite effect to that of each other's. But okay, each other's. And remember, they are complementary to each other rather than actually being competitors of each other. Okay, because they are the best of friends, to be honest. One is capable of doing something, the other one is capable of doing something else to help this one. Okay, right. Now, children, it's time to remind yourself about how many amazing, super amazing things you can achieve in your educational life, which is like the base right now to set your future. Well, as long as you're with Vedantu, you can remain tension free. And that's exactly why I'm telling you about pro subscription courses. Children, you can be part of unlimited live classes with fun and high level quizzes at Vedantu. And on top of this, it feels great fun to compete with students around different parts of the world, not just India. And you can watch interactive replays with live quizzes and leaderboards. That's going to be a very amazing feature, because just in case you attended a session while it's happening live, and you probably, like, a few days later you wanted to revise that, you're like, wow, how nice it would have been if I could have a replay of that. I used to think about this a lot when I was in school, like recording the lectures of our teachers in school, and I would be like, wow, how nice it would have been if we could take home those lectures, the recorded versions, and just learn from those. It would have been amazing. I have had that thought several times while I was in school, and thankfully there were other people in my generation who probably thought of that as well. And that's exactly why we have amazing places like Vedantu today. And yes, thanks to technology, we can do a lot. So leaderboards and quizzes are still going to be live, although it may be a replay that you could be watching. And then, children, handwritten notes of your master teachers can be downloaded after every session. And that is a very special personal connect feature as well. And on top of all this, in class doubt solving with the help of your class teachers and master teachers would all happen. Tests and assignments also guaranteed to boost your confidence to face your exams. Right, children? Then, like, I would say, icing on top of the cake, free 5,000 plus chapter level or topic level courses, which we call micro courses, and free crash courses for competitive exams. If you have subscribed to Vedantu Pro, you don't have to pay anything extra for this. And how much would you pay for that? Less is definitely more as far as Vedantu is concerned. I'll tell you how exactly. Remember the coupon code AMBPRO. Right now, just focus on that, AMBPRO. All right? Just that. AMB stands for Ambika. Okay? AMBPRO. Now, remember, 50% off up to rupees 1,500 is going on right now. And now I'll tell you what exactly to do, where to click, and all of those I'll tell you. The normal pro price for ICSE Class 10 courses for a 1 month course is currently 2,699 without any discounts. It's not just for biology, it's for all your subjects together: English, social studies, science and maths, everything together. And after the 50% off, of course, reduces by half, 1,349.5. Yes, so how do you get that 50% off now? By applying the coupon code AMBPRO. As simple as that. So that comes down to calculating the per class cost or the per session cost, because you need to check, because you are spending this or your parents are spending it rather, you need to be aware of how much exactly per hour, per session are you spending. Children, used in the right manner, the 1 month of subscription will give you access to 200 sessions. Okay, so in case you cannot attend them live, it's completely understandable. That's exactly why we have the replay button, the replay option. So full value is there, provided you will be able to use it in the right manner. You have to be committed to yourself. Okay, so 1349.5 divided by 200 to give you the per class price, which is 6.7, which is even lesser than your regular lace packet, not even the party lace packet. So, children, Now, to make things a little more clear for you, I will tell you where exactly you can go to find the link. Yes, do you see this? Do you see this? Now, this is the description box you see below this video, right? Click on subscribe to Vedantu Pro now. Do you see an option like that? This one, right? Subscribe to Vedantu Pro now. And you see a link next to it, right? Just click on that, and that's all that you need to do. Now, it takes you to a window where you need to select your grade. Click on 10 because you guys are ICSE 10 students, hopefully. So you have the options CBSE, ICSE, Maharashtra Board 2021 or 2022. Currently, let's focus on what we need right now, ICSE 2021. There. Majorly for ICSE, it's going to be maths, bio, physics, and chemistry. Okay, all chapters revision for your subjects maths, bio, physics, and chemistry. And all the features that you can find as part of this, everything is mentioned out here. Why it is the best, who are the teachers, what have our past year's results been, and all the frequently asked questions, everything you need to be aware of, children. You can educate yourself completely before you go on to click on the proceed to pay button. Okay, so the Pro 1 month subscription without discounts costs you 2,699 for the 4 subjects I told you: maths, bio, physics, and chemistry. Okay, now click on proceed to pay, and yes, now you can see this here, Vedantu ICSE 10 Pro Lite 1 month 2699. You can click on a coupon code AMBPRO, click on apply button, and there we go. It's reduced by half, 1,349.5. And go ahead, choose a payment method. That's about it. You are done, right? Choose it, complete the payment, and you will be entitled. Okay. Now, once you are a registered student with Vedantu, what does your dashboard look like? Let me just show you that. You will be able to have a look at all the past sessions, all the upcoming sessions, everything right here in one place. According to dates, it's been arranged, a latest and backward. Do you see that? Yes. With the dates, the topic, and the time at which it happened. And you can see 2 options. The replay button, once you click on that, you can watch the replay of the session. And the get notes button, once you click on it, you will be able to download the handwritten notes of the master teacher. All right, so without wasting any time, children, I suggest you make the best use of it before it gets late. All right. So yes, remember the 50% off is going on right now. You should have the responsibility of having full value for money, and that's exactly why I'm telling you to register right now for it. Take it 1 month at a time. Dates are uncertain, dates are yet to be announced. Forget it. For the time being, forget it. That's all right. Right? Okay. Let's move on now to the next one, which is question number 7. Explain tropic hormone. What exactly is tropic hormone? Okay, so I'll tell you what tropic hormones are. Tropic hormones are those hormones which target other endocrine glands. For example, the thyroid stimulating hormone, and there are many others, follicle stimulating hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. The word itself, when you think of it, thyroid stimulating hormone, it's a hormone which stimulates the thyroid. Yes, as simple as that. Released by your pituitary gland, it stimulates the thyroid gland to release their respective hormones, the thyroid hormones. So, simply put, tropic hormones are those hormones which stimulate other endocrine glands. All right. So, the simplest example is this the TSH and FSH also is another example, follicle stimulating hormone, which acts on the reproductive follicles in the gonads. Right. So, that's about it. Now, the next question, difference between simple and exophthalmic goiter. Simple goiter versus exophthalmic goiter. What could the differences be? Simple goiter is basically caused due to the deficiency of iodine. And you all know this probably because you would have heard this in your lower grades as well. Exophthalmic goiter is something that's caused due to overactivity of the thyroid gland. In this case, it can be cured by adding iodine into the diet because it's chiefly an iodine deficiency. And in exophthalmic goiter, by killing the thyroid cells or surgically removing one portion of the thyroid gland could be a solution. but of course depends on the intensity, and symptoms might be a little different as well, because in exophthalmic goiter, typically, as the name indicates, it would be seen that the eyes of the patient would be bulging out. Exo is out and ophthalmic is eyes, so eyes bulge out in such a case. All right, so these are the major differences between the two types of goiter, but all related to iodine, thyroid, and all of those. Okay, now comes question 9. How does hormonal control differ from nervous control? Okay, this question may or may not be asked in this manner. There is a good chance that it could be asked in a different manner, as in phrased in a slightly different manner, considering past year's ICSE trends. But you need to be aware about this. We have a nervous system, we do have an endocrine system as well. What's the point? I mean, how do they differ from each other? This is important for us to know. Hormonal control is supposed to be quite slow, but nervous control is spontaneous, pretty much instantaneous, or very, very fast as compared to this. In hormonal control, chemical signals are transmitted through blood. Whereas in nervous control, they are much more organized. Rather, signals are transmitted electrochemically through nerve fibers. We call them electrical signals or electrical impulses, right? In the case of nervous control. And finally, hormonal control's effects are long lasting, whereas nervous control effects are typically short lived. Your reflexes and some decision that you make, something like that, those are generally short lived. But hormonal control, generally the effects are long lasting. So, something like the hare and tortoise story, something like slow and steady wins the race. Well, I'm just joking. It's not like the nervous system is not at all important. That does its job beautifully. This system also does its job beautifully. They go hand in hand with each other, and that's exactly why we need to be thankful to nature for building us like this. Okay, now coming to question 10, which is the final question for the day. Give biological reasons. People living in hilly regions usually suffer from simple goiter. What could possibly be the reason? Yes. Well, I would suggest, children, this by itself may not come as a 3 mark question, as mentioned here, but there are chances it could come as a 1 or a 2 marks question. But if at all it comes as a 3 mark question, there would normally be questions associated with it. Like, for example, name the mineral involved, or probably I don't know, name the endocrine gland which is associated with this disorder, things like that. Okay, so whatever it may be ready for it. The answer is right here. It's very, very simple. Iodine is deficient in hilly regions, and hence iodine is also naturally deficient in the crops grown in that region. So, generally, people tend to consume less iodine in their food. It's not deliberate, but they just end up consuming lesser iodine. Now, it's important to mention that iodine is needed for the production of thyroxine. So this is why, children, I was telling you, normally in such a question, especially when it comes for 3 marks or 5 marks, something associated will be there. Name the mineral and which hormone does it help us produce. Thyroxine is the hormone um, uh, that has iodine as one of its major components. And then due to the deficiency of iodine, people suffer from simple goiter, which is a simple, small, or sometimes intermediate size swelling in the neck region. Okay, so this is about your endocrine system, and congratulations. We are done with Sprintex 2021 for ICSE. So your homework is right here. Insulin is injected into the body of a highly diabetic patient and is not given orally. How would you explain this? I'll be waiting for your answers. Let's see. And children, we've discussed, oh, it's not the nervous system. It has to be your endocrine system. Sorry, that's my bad. I should have checked it. Endocrine system, never mind. Endocrine system, adrenal gland, pancreas, thyroid gland, and your pituitary gland. Now, children, there is no upcoming session. As I told you, today is our last and final session, which means we are totally done. Our previous session happened yesterday at 6 p.m. Nervous system part 2. Okay, so remember the 50% is off The 50% off is going on right now, and it will be on for a few more days, up to rupees 1500. Link in the description box below and the pinned comment. Coupon code is AMBPRO. All right. Now, children, remember to continue supporting us, because if not the Sprintex, we'll come up with more and more interesting and more creative series for you in the days and weeks to come. So stay tuned. Just stay subscribed to our channel Vedantu 9th and 10th English, and spread word as well, children. Share all our links with your friends, because we would love you all to benefit from this. Please click on the like button as well if you have found this useful, and please do share your feedback on Sprintex as well in the comment section below. All right, guys, so until we meet again, remember to stay happy and stay healthy. That's what matters the most in life. Take care. This is Ambika signing off. Bye bye.